Aging, but not fading. Have you ever noticed how society tends to treat aging like a slow decline? As if every birthday past 65 comes with a warning label, "Caution how fragile." But what if I told you that's not the full picture? What if growing older doesn't mean losing your power but revealing it? Hi, and welcome back to Elderly Active Living. Today's video is not about slowing down. It's about celebrating those quiet, often overlooked signs that show you're aging in a truly exceptional way. Now, I know when people think about aging, they often imagine weakness. Stiff joints, foggy memory, needing help for even the smallest tasks. But here's the truth no one talks about enough. There are people over 65 who are walking miracles. And maybe you're one of them. In this video, we'll uncover 10 signs that you are aging remarkably well. Not the flashy kind, not the kind that gets headlines, but the kind that quietly says, you've taken care of yourself, you're still sharp, and you're still strong. You might still be able to stand from a chair without using your hands. You might still carry your groceries with ease. You might still walk with good posture, balance on one leg, or get down on the floor and back up again without help. Each of these is more than just a party trick. They're rare abilities that speak volumes about your health, your independence, and your vitality. And here's the best part. Even if you can only do one of these things, it means something big. You're not just getting older. You're aging with grace, power, and presence. So stay with me through this video. Because whether you recognize one sign or all 10, each one is a quiet victory. And by the end, you'll walk away with a new appreciation for the strength you still carry. Let's dive in. Part 1. The quiet strength in your grip. If you've ever opened a tight jar without thinking, carried a heavy grocery bag into the house, or offered a firm handshake with ease, you might not realize it. But your body is giving you a powerful message. You're still thriving. That's right. Grip strength, something so simple. So every day is actually one of the most accurate indicators of how well you're aging. Let's talk about why. A strong grip doesn't just mean your hands are tough. It means your entire system is working in harmony, your muscles, your nervous system, even your cardiovascular health. Doctors today are paying close attention to grip strength because they've found something fascinating. People with stronger hands tend to live longer, recover faster from illness, and stay independent well into their later years. And it makes sense, doesn't it? Your hands are how you interact with the world. They help you pour coffee, hold a pen, tie your shoes, lift a child. When your grip starts to fade, so does your ability to do these small but essential parts of daily life. Let me tell you about Frank. Frank is 75 years old. He still tends to his garden every morning, lifting flower pots, trimming vines, and handling tools with ease. One afternoon during a routine checkup, his doctor smiled and said, "Frank, your grip strength is better than most men in their 50s. That's not just a compliment. That's a clinical sign of longevity. Because strong grip strength is a quiet guardian. It's what steadies you when you lose balance, what helps you push yourself out of a chair, and what allows you to catch yourself if you stumble. And here's the best part. Even if you feel like you've lost some of that strength, it's not too late to rebuild it. Squeezing a rubber ball, using hand grippers, practicing light resistance with simple tools. Small, consistent movements can restore what time tries to take away. So the next time you open a tight jar or hold a heavy grocery bag, pause for just a moment. Recognize that grip as more than strength. It's a sign of resilience, a signal that your body still holds power, a reminder that you are not just aging, you are aging with excellence. And if this resonated with you, be sure to follow us here on Elderly Active Living. We're here to remind you, every week, that aging is not a loss but a different kind of strength. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this with someone whose hands still carry stories and strength. Part 2. Getting up without help, a rare and beautiful strength. Imagine this for a moment. You're sitting on the floor, maybe playing with your grandchild, maybe just enjoying a moment of quiet. Now, it's time to stand up. And without grabbing the edge of a table, without bracing yourself on your knees, you rise. Smoothly, confidently, unaided. If you can still do this, sit down on the floor and get back up without using your hands, you are carrying something rare inside you. A deep-rooted strength, flexibility, and balance that most people over 65 have already lost. This ability isn't just about muscle. It's about how your body communicates with itself, your nerves, your joints, your sense of balance, all working in harmony. Doctors even have a name for this. It's part of the sit-to-stand test, and research shows that those who can perform it have a significantly lower risk of falls, hospitalization, and premature aging. Let me tell you about Margaret. Margaret is 72 years old. Every morning, she rolls out her yoga mat. She stretches, bends, breathes deeply. Her body flows from one pose to the next with quiet grace. And when she finishes, she stands up, no furniture, no hands, just the strength and trust she's built in her own body. At her last checkup, her doctor said something simple but powerful. "Margaret, most women your age can't do what you're doing." And he was right. Because this movement, the act of getting off the ground without help, is not about looking youthful. It's about being in tune with your body. It means your muscles still respond, your balance still guides you, and your confidence hasn't faded. Now, if you're listening and thinking, "I can't do that anymore," don't worry. You can start today, just like Margaret did years ago, with small, safe movements, gentle stretches, core work. Even just sitting on a chair and rising without pushing with your hands can begin to rebuild what time may have softened. This isn't about perfection. It's about preserving your freedom, your ability to move through life on your terms. So here's a little challenge from us at Elderly Active Living. Tonight or tomorrow morning, try it. Sit down safely. Take your time. Now, see if you can rise, using only your leg. No rush. Just notice where your strength is and where it wants to grow. And if you can do it, celebrate that moment. Because that's not just movement, that's mastery. And if you can't, well, now you have something powerful to work toward. Because with patience and consistency, you can rise again. Part 3. Standing tall. The quiet strength of your posture. Let's do something simple together. Take a breath. Now, sit or stand just a little taller. Lift your chest, align your spine, gently pull your shoulders back. Feel that? That's not just posture. That's your body remembering its strength. If you can still maintain good posture standing tall without pain, sitting upright without effort, you're doing something remarkable. More than most realize. Because posture, my friend, is not about vanity. It's not about looking good in pictures. It's a quiet signal that your muscles are strong, your joints are aligned, and your energy still flows with ease. You see, as we age, posture often begins to slip. Not because we're lazy, but because gravity, time, and tight muscles start to pull us forward. Our necks crane, our shoulders round, our lower backs ache. And little by little, we begin to shrink not just in height, but in presence. But if you still walk into a room with your head high and your back straight, you're telling the world something powerful without ever saying a word. I'm still here. I'm still strong. I still carry myself with dignity. Let me tell you about George. George is 74, a retired teacher with a soft voice and a firm handshake. When he walks through the park or into his local coffee shop, people often guess his age wrong. They think he's in his early 60s. Why? Because of how he carries himself, back straight, chin lifted, a calm steadiness in every step. George once said, "I don't lift weights, I just don't let myself fold in." And that's the secret. Good posture is like a silent guardian of your vitality. When you slouch, your lungs compress, your breath shortens, you fatigue faster. But when you stand tall, your body breathes easier, your heart beats stronger, your presence becomes magnetic regardless of age. So how do we keep this gift? Start with awareness. Each time you stand or sit, check in. Are your feet grounded? Is your spine rising like a gentle string pulling from the top of your head? Breathe into your belly. Let your chest open. These are small adjustments, but over time, they become the foundation of lasting strength. At Elderly Active Living, we celebrate the quiet victories like holding a proud posture long after others have let it go. Because this isn't just about bones and muscles. It's about how you show up in your life, in your relationships, in your moments. So if you're still walking talented, that grace is rare. And if posture has become a little harder lately, know this: it's never too late to straighten up and feel the difference. Because every step you take upright is a step closer to strength. Part 4. The quiet power in standing up. Here's a little challenge. Try sitting in your favorite chair, then standing up without using your hands. No armrests, no pushing, just the strength of your legs, the balance of your core, and the quiet confidence of someone who still owns their independence. Can you do it? If yes, that's more than just a neat trick. That is a deep sign that your body still holds on to something rare, functional, everyday strength that many begin to lose after 65. You see, this movement standing up from a seated position without help, it's so basic that we hardly ever think about it. Until one day, it's gone. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 72. Active, cheerful, the kind of woman who takes her walks rain or shine. But she never thought much about standing from a chair until a lunch with some old friends. She noticed how they leaned forward, pushed off the table, grabbed armrests, or needed someone's hand to rise. She didn't judge. But in that moment, she realized she wasn't struggling like they were. It was subtle, but clear. Her legs still had that spring. Her core still remembered how to rise on its own. And it hit her. This little ability she took for granted wasn't so little after all, because the ability to rise from a chair without using your hands means your muscles are still firing properly. Your joints are stable, your posture's in check, and more importantly, your independence is still intact. We believe that these everyday motions tell the real story of your health. Forget complicated fitness tests. Can you rise without help? Can you lift yourself from a chair without leaning, grunting, or searching for support? That's strength. That's balance. That's you, thriving. If this is something you can do, smile. You've held on to something precious. And if it's become harder lately, don't be discouraged. You can train it. Start slow. Practice daily. Use a cushion, a firm chair, a timer. Strength, like confidence, comes back with gentle repetition. Because being able to lift your literally and figuratively is one of the greatest gifts of aging well. So next time you stand up from a chair, without even thinking about it, know this: you are rising not just from furniture, you are rising into freedom. Part 5. The 10-second balance that speaks volumes. Here's a question you probably haven't asked yourself lately. Can you stand on one leg for 10 seconds? Go ahead, try it. No grabbing a wall, no wobbling. Just stand, one foot lifted, steady. Seems easy, right? But you'd be surprised how rare that ability becomes past the age of 65. Because balance real, reflexive, rooted balance is one of the first things to fade and one of the last things we realize we've lost. See, balance isn't just about strong legs. It's about your nervous system, your brain, your inner ear, your reflexes. It's your body talking to itself and listening fast enough to keep you upright. That's why this simple act in seconds on one leg is such a powerful test. Let me tell you about Frank. He's 77. Retired carpenter, still sharp with tools, steady with his hands. But one day, he noticed something odd. He stepped off a curb and felt wobbly. Nothing dramatic, no fall, just a flicker of instability. His doctor asked him, "Can you balance on one foot for 10 seconds?" He tried, made it to 4. And that's when Frank decided to train it. Not with fancy equipment or gym memberships, but with his toothbrush. Every morning, he brushes his teeth standing on one leg, 30 seconds right, 30 seconds left. At first, he struggled, but day by day, his balance returned. Now, he clocks in a smooth 15 seconds, no problem. And more than that, he feels confident walking again, climbing steps, reaching high, even playing with his grandkids. We believe balance is more than physical. It's emotional, it's psychological, because when you can trust your body not to betray you, you move through life with ease. Falling is the #1 cause of injury in older adults. But if you can balance, you reduce that risk dramatically. So if you haven't tried it, try now. Lift one foot. Hold it. 10 seconds. If you wobble, that's okay. Start practicing every day while brushing your teeth, waiting for water to boil. During commercials, if you succeed, celebrate. That's your nervous system saying, "I've still got it." Because standing tall on one leg isn't just about your feet. It's about the deep strength you've carried through the years. Part 6. Rising with ease, a rare sign of lasting strength. Here's something many people don't think about until they can't do it anymore. Getting up from the floor without using your hands. It sounds simple, even trivial, but in truth, it's one of the clearest indicators of deep, lasting vitality. Why? Because this one movement, going from the ground to standing, without pushing off your knees, without grabbing furniture, without fear, requires more than strength. It takes balance. It takes coordination. It takes trust in your body. And sadly, it's something many lose over time. Muscles weaken, joints stiffen. The body forgets how to move smoothly. But if you can still do it, you are in rare company. Let me tell you about Joan. She's 72, grandmother of 5. And one afternoon, she was on the floor with her grandkids, building a puzzle. Laughter filled the room, little hands reaching for colorful pieces. And when it was time to get up, Joan simply stood. No grunting, no hands, no help. Her daughter stared in amazement. Her doctor later said, "That simple act? It's a sign of excellent health." Because what most people don't realize is that this movement, getting up from the floor, calls upon nearly every system in the body. Muscles, joints, nervous system, breath, focus. And studies now show those who can do it with ease are less likely to suffer falls, less likely to be hospitalized, and more likely to maintain their independence longer. At Elderly Active Living, we call this the quiet miracle of movement. It doesn't take a gym. It doesn't take weights. It just takes daily awareness and small acts of care. So try it sometime. Sit on the floor, breathe, and then rise without your hands, without support. Can you do it? If yes, celebrate. That strength is precious. If not, don't worry. Start slow. Practice with a cushion. Use support until you don't need it anymore. Because regaining that ability is like rediscovering a forgotten freedom. The ability to rise again is not just physical, it's symbolic. It says, I may be older, but I'm still strong, still in control, still fully alive. Part 7. Holding Strength, the everyday power that sets you apart. Let's talk about something simple, but secretly powerful. Carrying a heavy bag, groceries, laundry, a toolbox. If you can still lift and carry these things, without shaking, without strain, you hold a strength that most people your age have quietly lost. And here's the truth. This is more than just muscle. This is called functional strength. It means your body still works as one whole unit. Your hands, arms, shoulders, back, and legs, all in harmony, all supporting each other, all saying, yes, I can still do this. Let me introduce you to Walter. He's 74. One afternoon at the grocery store, he loaded 2 full bags into his arms. A younger man nearby offered help. Let me carry that for you, sir. Walter smiled, shook his head, and said, I've been doing this for decades. No reason to stop now. And he meant it. He wasn't being proud. He was being present. He knew his body was still his own. Strong, stable, dependable. See, carrying something heavy isn't just about showing off. It's about preserving your independence. It's about doing your own chores, lifting what you need, moving through the world on your terms. Doctors even say grip strength is one of the top predictors of long life. Why? Because if your hands are strong, your bones tend to be strong, your heart is likely healthier, your coordination sharper. It means your whole system is still online, still reliable. And if you're holding bags today without help, that's not just strength, that's freedom. Now, if it's getting harder, don't give up. Start small. Squeeze a tennis ball. Do a few bicep curls with water bottles. Use those hands daily. Open jars. Twist doorknobs. Lift light things often. We believe strength is more than muscles. It's a message. It says, I still belong in this world fully, actively, and on my own terms. So the next time you carry something across the kitchen or parking lot, pause for a second. Feel the weight. Feel the power in your arms. That, right there, is proof you're aging with quiet excellence. Part 8. Rising from the ground, the ultimate sign of vital aging. Picture this. You're sitting on the floor, maybe playing with your grandchild, reaching under the couch for something, or stretching after a walk. Then you rise. No hands, no leaning, no strain. Just one foot planted, back straight, and you stand up like it's the most natural thing in the world. Now pause, because what you just did, that is rare. That is sacred. That is the ultimate symbol of vitality after 65. This simple act, sitting down and standing up from the floor without using your hands, is more than movement. It's balance. It's core strength. It's flexibility. And it's confidence. Let me tell you about Emma. She's 80. One afternoon, her grandkids begged her to sit on the floor and build puzzles. And without hesitation, she did. Laughed, played, stayed a while. Then, without help, she stood up smoothly, easily. Her daughter watched from across the room, eyes wide, and said, "Mom, I know people 20 years younger who can't do that." Emma hadn't thought much of it. To her, it was just movement. But to her doctor, it was a sign of something much deeper. Health, longevity, independence. See, this motion? It engages nearly every part of your body. Your joints, your muscles, your inner ear for balance, your breath. It's a mini marathon packed into a single motion. And if you can still do it, you are exceptional. Now, if you can't yet, don't worry. This isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. Practice using a cushion or a chair for support. Try lowering down slowly. Try standing with a bit more control each time. You are never too old to begin again. Because rising from the ground isn't just physical. It's symbolic. It's what we do after grief, after setbacks, after aging tells us to slow down. It says, "I'm still here, still capable, still full of life." We believe every small movement is a powerful act of self-care, a statement of strength, a reason to keep going. So the next time you sit on the floor or stand up again, know that you are not just moving, you are defying limits. You are rising body and soul into the next chapter of life. Part 9. You still sleep well and get enough sleep. Having a good night's sleep in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, that's not just lucky, that's exceptional. You see, as we age, sleep often becomes lighter, interrupted, and harder to fall into. Many older adults wake up tired, nap during the day, or struggle with insomnia. But if you're one of the rare few who can fall asleep easily, stay asleep for several hours, and wake up feeling refreshed, you're not just fortunate, you're remarkable. Sleep is where the body heals. It's where the brain clears out toxins, processes memory, and restores energy. Researchers now say that good sleep in later life is directly linked to better heart health, stronger immunity, and even a reduced risk of dementia. Let me tell you about Helen. She's 76 and still sleeps like a log. No pills, no sound machines. Just a peaceful wind-down routine every evening, dim lights, soft music, a warm bath, and a quiet room. Her doctor once told her, "Your sleep profile looks like someone decades younger." That's because deep, natural sleep is a gift and a skill. If you still sleep deeply, cherish it, protect it, maintain your sleep hygiene like a treasure. And if sleep has been a struggle, there's hope. Gentle habits, consistent bedtimes, avoiding screens late at night, they can all help you reclaim that vital rhythm. Because restful sleep isn't just about feeling better. It's about staying younger from the inside out. Part 10. You can still learn something new every day. Can you still pick up new hobbies, try new recipes, learn how to use a new app, or even just memorize a phone number? Then guess what? Your brain is aging in a way that scientists call neuroplasticity preserved. That's a fancy way of saying your brain still learns, grows, and forms new connections. And that is incredibly rare past 65. Many people assume the older we get, the less we can learn. But research shows the opposite. Those who actively engage their minds through puzzles, reading, classes, conversation, or even creative play show better memory, focus, and emotional well-being than those who don't. Meet Samuel. He's 81. Last year, he decided to take up painting. Never held a brush before. Now, He's got his own wall of watercolor landscapes, not because he wants to be famous, but because learning keeps his spirit awake. My hands may be slower, he says, but my mind is still curious. If you're still learning, keep going. If you've been hesitant, start small, a book, a board game, a documentary, because when your brain stays active, you stay vibrant, you stay relevant, you stay alive. Aging with curiosity is one of the boldest, most beautiful things you can do. So whether you're learning a new dance step, a language, or just how to make sourdough bread, you're not aging out. You're aging up. Aging, but still at your peak. Let's pause here for a moment. Take a breath. You've just heard 10 signs, quiet, powerful signs that you are aging exceptionally well. Now, maybe you only recognized 1 or 2 in yourself, maybe more, or maybe all 10. But here's what matters most. Even just one of these signs is a quiet victory. Because in a world that often treats aging like a slow decline, these abilities are proof that your body, your mind, and your spirit still hold strength, control, and grace. You are not fading. You are evolving. And the fact that you still carry even a single one of these traits says something important. You are rare. You are strong. You are still very much alive in the ways that matter most. Too often, the conversation around aging focuses on what's being lost: muscle, memory, balance, speed. But what if we flip that script? What if we started noticing, celebrating, and protecting what's still here? Your steady hand, your upright posture, your ability to rise from the ground, your curiosity, your balance, your sleep, your strength, your joy. These aren't just physical markers. They are the evidence of a life well lived, a body well cared for, and a spirit that refuses to give up. And if you're watching this, nodding quietly because one or more of these signs felt like they were speaking directly to you, then welcome. You are part of a small, powerful, and beautiful group. We believe aging doesn't mean stepping down, it means stepping in. Deeper into your wisdom, deeper into your body, deeper into the kind of freedom that only life experience can bring. So here's what we invite you to do. First, take pride in what your body still can do. Second, don't stop. Keep stretching, keep lifting, keep learning. And third, share this video. Not just because it helps others, but because when you share your story, you remind someone else that it's not too late. Drop a comment below and tell us, which of these 10 signs do you still have? Which one surprised you? Which one do you want to reclaim? We read every comment. And honestly, your journey helps fuel ours. And if this video gave you even one moment of encouragement, clarity, or comfort, please tap that subscribe button. Join our community here at Elderly Active Living, where aging is celebrated, not feared. Because aging isn't about slipping away from life. It's about stepping boldly into the years ahead with strength, grace, and your own kind of greatness. Until next time, take care of your body, cherish your mind, and live fully. We're honored to be part of your journey.